the Melbourne Storm in second, the Penrith Panthers in second last after 6 rounds of the competition. Cam, Thursday night against the Dolphins, their 5th straight loss.
Yep.
Tricky clash now against the Roosters. Then they've got Manly, Brisbane and North Queensland in the weeks following that, all teams that look tough, particularly on paper. Is it over?
Well, yeah, I'm still not prepared to say that their chances of winning this comp are over, but as the weeks go by and the losses pile up, it becomes more difficult, doesn't it? It's a challenge. It's always a challenge. And it just shows what they've done over the last 4 seasons. And you could probably say 5 seasons, considering they played in the grand final in 2020, is remarkable. To be able to stay up that long with the changes, with injuries and all these different challenges that you face throughout the year, to be able to do what they've done is just incredible, which makes them one of the great teams of our game. But this year they've battled. I think they've struggled at times with their consistency, which they haven't over the past 4 years. A lot of errors are starting to creep into their game. A big one for me, I really think they underestimated the loss of Jerome Luai. I really do. I think now we're starting to see the value that he gave to that footy side, even when Nathan Cleary was out for a period of time over the last couple of seasons with the different issues and injuries that he had. Jerome Luai sort of took control of that footy side and sort of continued the wins, just kept ticking the wins over. But it's an uphill battle for them now.
I think Fisher Harris as well. I'll have some more forwards. I'm going to back the forward more.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
When you look at some of the players they've lost over the past 3 or 4 years, they've lost some absolute stars.
They have, mate.
I feel they haven't lost any part of their real heart and soul. And I just feel Fisher Harris being their forward leader, even if he wasn't the best player on the field every week, they just felt safe when he was out there. And I agree, Jerome Luai is a huge loss as well. But I feel for Penrith this year, their defence. Their defence is what they've based their game off the last 4 seasons, and they're the second worst defence in the competition at the moment. And the basic fundamental errors that we just have not seen from the Penrith Panthers, play the ball errors, dropping bombs, just halfbacks dropping the ball, that's one part of the game we haven't seen from Penrith for years. And when your confidence is down, they seem to just keep ticking up over and over and over. So I'm not prepared to write them off just yet. They're just so good a team. I'm glad you brought up what they did, Smithy, because what they did should really be celebrated. To win 4 premierships in a row, I don't think we'll ever see that again. No. And it was an amazing effort by the club. At some stage, though, it had to win.
Yeah, well said. Gus, is it we've harped on about how they've been able to replenish that team year in, year out when the big names move on. Is this the first time that their depth has truly been tested, though?
Yeah, well, it's going to be tested because underneath all this, what you haven't seen is a number of players that probably would have been next in line to come through to the club have gone to other clubs looking for opportunity because their pathway may have seemed to be blocked at that club. So there's got a lot of young talent that's now filtered out to other clubs around the league that is only just emerging with other clubs and would have been emerging through the Panthers. The other part of the Panthers too is when it's been a significant change. Every year there's been incremental change, but there were significant changes this year. And what I've found with them, watching them play, is that they're still trying to play the same style of football that's won 4 premierships that they have been, with different talent and inexperienced talent. And, what I worried about them the other night was the depth of experience and in the outside backs, where the Dolphins were very strong, and that's where they played them. They just kept carving them up out wide. And unfortunately, the attacking game isn't what it is. Now, Brian To'o didn't play the other night. The attacking game, to me, doesn't look like it's developed since last year. Their game is built on high-speed grind and wearing sides down and then taking their opportunities close to the line. And that's a very difficult brand of football to play, and it's moulded over a long period of time, which they became the best in the competition at. But not with this roster of players, not with these young fellas coming in trying to learn their trade. And at the moment, they just can't live up to that expectation, nor the intensity of the opposition who are playing against the defending premiers, but they're playing against people that didn't win that premiership.
That's right.
It's a total different feel about it, So every year you get 1 or 2 changes. You turn around 3 or 4 years later, and suddenly there's a dozen changes to your side. It's a whole different thing. And whether or not you've overlooked the development of these players coming through, and they've had to go out and into the market and buy players, where previously they weren't buying players. They had young fellas coming through as well. Plus, you've also got to allow for the fact that they're really good senior players have been up for a long time. They've played a lot of high-intensity football. They've had very short off-seasons, playing rep football at the end of seasons. And, a couple of those just look a little bit tired at the moment. I don't think there's any reason to panic. I saw some really good effort areas the other night where they still keep trying. They'll win games in this competition, but right at the moment, they're probably not in those teams that you'd be counting on for a premiership run this year.